I had to read something that popped up in my news feed. Really weird. They just found there was a single. Just found the single. Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix did it together. Huh. Well, I'll be doggone. Who knew? Welcome to the early morning show. Just having some fun with the Beatles thing. And I'm happy for Beatles fans. It's pretty exciting, to make a single that comes out there. $16 or $17 for a 7-inch. Seems like a cash grab. If you have AI really helping, did that computer cost that much to use? But if you're a fan, this is important. And that's great. If you're not a fan, you go, huh? What? But it's interesting with this, with AI, how much was used, how much wasn't, what can be done, how is the music being changed. And actually on my podcast I do with Jim Gleason, two guys talking about records, we're diving into that tonight. We're going to kind of give some things we've read and heard, and a pretty good discussion on that, along with some Discogs news. It's a pretty good discussion. I'm being brave today. I'm wearing a Nebraska shirt. It's been hard to wear a Nebraska shirt because we've sucked. Volleyball were great, but oh my God. And this year we're not good, but we don't suck. And yeah, that's nice. It isn't like you'll go into every game, go, well, we're going to lose. Now we walk into a game, go, well, we might win. We don't have much of an offense, but we have one hell of a defense. So today, actually, doing this Saturday morning, because I'm not going to be around, over the weekend, we're going down to friends and to watch the game and stay overnight with them. But they're Michigan State fans, big Michigan State fans. It's Nebraska, Michigan State. So I'm going to go do that. Yeah, actually, I guess I could have went to the game. They said there's going to be a lot of empty seats. It's in Michigan State. They're having a terrible year as they lost their coach due to a sexual harassment thing. It's a crazy story if you've never heard it, but I won't get into it. We're going to talk about records instead. But let's begin. We're going to start with a book. If you watched Thursday's show, I did a record store tour of Record Graveyard. An interesting spot. And in there, I found something that I've never seen, but I wanted it. I've never seen it live. This is the Cramps biography. This came out in 1990. And it is not a cheap book. I've seen it show up on different sites. I've seen it on Discogs by, not Discogs, actually on Amazon, but by third-party sellers, eBay. And it goes generally for quite a bit of money. And here it was, they had it within their more valuable records at the grave store, wrapped up twice in plastic. It was like, this is the must-have. Was it cheap? No. But it wasn't like overpriced or anything. And, it's not, this is just, again, 1990, so it's, in the 90s, the Cramps kind of began changing up, get a little more weirder and things like that. There's a young Cramps, and so it just, their influences, it goes through the forming of them and about them, and this is just so, this is great. This is one of these, this was really exciting for me to see, to find, because I really had been wanting this. And so there it was. I was finally having Greg Hawkins. If you notice, Poison Ivy, it's Lex Interior and Poison Ivy was the couple. And, later on, Poison Ivy's always dressed in very sexy, sensuous stuff. When she started, she looked just more like a rockabilly, but, she got more glammed up as they went. But, there's good old Lux. But this is a fantastic find for me. And, Cramps is like one of my all-time favorite groups, especially the early stuff. And I so delighted to get this. Ian Johnston is the one that did it. So yeah, this is just never ever have seen it. So yeah, that's great. Probably have to keep it, you know, again, they wrapped it up twice trying to keep it nice and clean. So yeah, great stuff there. Super happy. So first record though, but there are records, and this came out this year, brand new this year. For those of you that want something new in your rock and roll record collection or whatever kind of collection you got, it's the 1981. Please, it is the 1981. I think, yeah, I have a habit of mispronouncing everything, and luckily I got an album here with a French word, so you know I'm just screwed already. But the 1981, I got that right. They're out of Oakland, and it's a fuzz pop duo. It was Adam Widener, Robbie Martinez, and yeah. But this again, debut calls "Move On," and this was some really good stuff. I enjoyed this one a lot. I saw it on someone's channel, and I'm sorry, I can't remember now. It possibly Sam's channel. If they were from Australia, it would be, oh no, I saw this off Ben Rankin's, Mike Rankin, my friend down in Australia. And why I know, because this was mastered by Mikey Young. And if you watch Ben Rankin, you know that every album in Australia is mastered and produced by Mikey Young. He is the guru, the king. He basically owns the music scene down there, I think. And so Ben had shown this. I think it was called a barn burner. He called this, or a shed burner. Yeah, we call it a barn burner. But down under, they called it a shed burner. And I think that's what he was saying this is. It's a shed burner. And so I felt, you know, that I had to get it. And I did. So here we have it. And this was very good. It again, so debut, it has layers of guitars, synths, organs, vocals are on there. And that's some beautiful black vinyl. We have here, oh, it's a white sleeve. There's something else in there. Yeah, oh, here we go. There we go. Look at that. So I ordered this. And here we got the band. Okay, we got some words and that on there. Okay, well, look. Okay, I got an 81 sticker. Oh, I got another 1981 sticker. We have Danny James. They're really doing their marketing here, 1981. Oh, I got another 1981 sticker. But yeah, all those came with it. So we love freebies, don't we? I just thought maybe there would be a download code, but they didn't do that. They don't do those too much anymore. So the music, it's filled with layers of guitars, synths, organs, and of course there's the vocals on here. And this is basically, it's a concept album, and it's 12 songs, and it's about the breakup, the falling apart of a marriage, or of a relationship, I should say, more of a relationship. I can't say if they're married or not, but that's what it follows. So, you know, you think about your very first album. What should we do? Well, let's talk about the falling apart of a relationship. And maybe that's what one of them was going through, so they needed to write about it and talk about it. It's filled with jangly indie pop with melancholy lyrics. And there's these wonderful frantic power chords that happen at times on here. You know, some of the songs that I really... Nelson's Camera was one. It had these beautiful vocals, acoustic guitars were being played, and just this kind of swirling synths going on. Capture My Conditions, the very first song, and I think that's what I'm going to drop you a sample of. Just, it had this great groove, this with the drums and the guitars and this distorted vocals. Just a wonderful way to start off an album. Really enjoyed this thing. This was good. It is a shed burner, or if you want to be a barn burner, or a house burner, or you burn whatever you want. But it was really, really good. And so I truly enjoyed this. I think I got it off Bandcamp, possibly. Maybe off Discogs. I don't know. But yeah, great stuff. Very good. I bought this when I went to that record fair, you know, I did about a month or so ago. And I'd showed it, but I haven't talked about it. And it was the Spacemen 3. Only $8.99. Yeah, $8.99 at Sam's Jams. Whatever. Okay. Well, let's just say inflation's taking a toll on that one. Quite a bit. It was no longer $8.99. This is an EP by Spacemen 3. It came out in 1987. And beautiful condition. They are out of England, Warwickshire, I think. Warwickshire, yeah. Formed in 82, broke up in 91. Now, I've talked about this group a lot. It's a group I really like. Kind of a neo-psych space rock. And you know, really, their music's like trance. You know, they call it, you know, music to take drugs to. I mean, it was just, you know, known as a drug band. But you get like this trance, like neo-psychedelic, which is generally on most albums filled with these heavy distorting guitars and synths, kind of with minimal chord changes and really buried vocals. This is coming a little later in their career, and it's quieter. It has droning synths and guitars, but also there's like they add in these violins. It's quite spacey, but it's really, it's calm. And so, you know, you don't I guess if you're taking drugs, you don't want anything too much, because the music doesn't deserve that. It's softer, sparser, and more textual. A lot of the songs go on, and there's only like 4 songs, maybe 5 songs. You can't even read it. And, you know, it's called, Transparent Radiation. You have to hold this in the light correctly to get it. But Transparent Radiation is what the name of the album is. And a lot of it is more of just this droning with the synths and the guitars that are happening, but again in a quieter way. I was delighted to find this. You know, to find an original Spacemen 3 again is, you just don't. They don't ever show up. So to see that, and you know, the first collection, I had a couple originals that, you know, were just pride and joys. Well, they've been reissuing some of it, so at least I've got the cover through a reissue, but it's never the same. Never the same. So this is great. Really fun to have.
My liquid head is open to the rain. I walk through bushland of peck of grain. I hear in my ear a hurricane. Speak to the man.
Then we have this. Brianna Barbara. I guess some people just want 2 first names. Brianna Barbara. That's born in Edina, Minnesota. For those of you that know Minnesota, Edina, you know, right? Nice, the rich suburb of Minneapolis. But she based her home camps in New York City. And this came out in 2022. There was Veruca P. Dubs, Paul at Veruca P. Dubs. This was his album of the year, favorite album. So I wrote that down. Veruca P. Dub is a channel which, you know, the best produced channel you've ever seen. The guy knows what he's doing. You know, he works for NASA, and it looks like he works for NASA, like he's in charge of the whole program. When you see a video, he just doesn't do them often, but his taste in music is very cool, very eclectic. And when he had this as his album of the year, and he plays samples, I wrote that down, and I finally got around to getting it. But it's called Nothing But Time, and it is Brianna Barbara's 2nd album. And this is it's filled with gorgeous rock riffs blended with these dream pop type vocals that are happening. Kind of a psychedelic blues with a 60s feel. It is the closing, the second half of it. You know, the first side is a lot harder rocking. The second side is more of kind of smoldering torch type songs. So it really slows down quite a bit as it goes, but still beautiful. Look at that. Wow, now that's an electric blue. We're going to call that an electric blue. Yeah. Notice how well, Vinyl Richie, I'm putting those to the side. Look at this. But I do have this for you. For those of you that get up early and say, I'd like to download something. Dave, maybe that's you. We have that. So, freeze frame. Freeze frame. All right. So, take that. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. So, Nothing But Time. Got the titles right there. Kind of weird, right? They didn't want to make that too big, but Brianna Barbara, wow. Look how shiny that is. This really, it has like Diamond Life on here. That was the first song. It's kind of almost like a surf rock type, surf psych, shall we say, type song going on. The guitars definitely have a surfy feel to it, but just there's a psychedelic tinge. What we have here, Me Too was a song I really enjoyed on this, and on Me Too it was what was it? Kind of an ominous blues type riff that was happening. Just this very sparse percussion. Weight of the World was a frantic, fast song, but it's about Roe versus Wade and her feelings of that. And she has this chanting that she's doing, my choice, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. And she's going, so she's letting her feelings known about the Roe versus Wade. And again, side two slows way down, more into ballads. Great album. I can see why he put this. This came on Fuzz Club. I think it's available like on, obviously you can get it on Amazon. I don't know how much you'll find it in stores anymore. But yeah, I'm sure Discogs, obviously. But yeah, great album to get. Very happy to have this thing. Then, we call that a transition. It fills the void in between the albums, and you're not quite sure what to do. We use transitional words like then, but, American Thighs. I don't know why I even said that. So, American Thighs. Remember this? For those of you that were in the 90s, well, that's everybody, because really young people generally don't watch this. My kids don't even watch my channel generally. So, hey, you've learned to live with it. Here we have the inner cover. Veruca Salt. That mean girl in Willy Wonka, that she wanted everything and eventually got thrown into a juicer. So this was just reissued, what was it, a year or two ago? And it sold out, man. It was gone. And I haven't been able to find it. And it's been on my list, actually, on the phone. I've said, man, I really like that. And I used to have the CD because that's all you could get. And I found it in a store down in Saginaw. And I couldn't believe I found it. But, this group started in 92. They're still performing, but it's only one of the members. It was formed by Nina Gordon and Louise Post. I think it's Post that's still playing, but the rest of the original members are gone. It's alt-rock grunge, maybe on the light side. But man, when this album came out, it was such a buzz. It was like, this is the next big thing. It turned out it wasn't. But it's one of those albums where everyone took notice of this thing and really got excited. It was going to be, they tried to make it an all-female band, and they put out an ad, but they wound up, basically, it was Jim Shapiro and Steve Link joined up and to play with them. So 2 guys, 2 gals, but man, they really, this is a great album. This, it's, it's full of, there's a lot of vocals, a lot of singing, and just fuzzed out guitars are happening on here. And it had the hit Seether. And I'll play you a sample of that. No doubt that that's going to be, hey, you shouldn't be playing that, or you know what, I have to share all whatever monetary things. So it's one of those I get knocked on. But the album's filled with infectious pop songs, and it's for the grunge crowd, okay? Now, is it the tough grunge that you would hear, like a Nirvana or an Alice in Chains? No. Kind of grunge pop, maybe, but it's good. It is, I really like this. It's just infectious, these pop songs, very infectious. And, in Seether itself was just, it grabbed your attention. The melody was great and filled with these crushing guitars. I just, yeah, to see this again, to get it back in, I used to have the CD, and so to get it on vinyl was happy. Lord knows what an original would cost, but wow. Yeah, that was wonderful. Next two came from Michael Christensen, and from last time we met, he gave me a few albums, and Michael, which his channel is ML Blue, small letters, ML Blue 535. Oh, it's right there. And so Michael, said, here's a couple of albums I think you would really like. And the first one is from Vangelis, Opera Sauvage. It's French. I don't know. Suave, Sauvage, Siva. Zero idea. But it's from Vangelis, okay? And it's actually, this was a soundtrack from a French TV show. It was a documentary, a nature documentary, I guess. And the music ranges anywhere, kind of, from the grand, follow you, kind of does, doesn't it? I should put this up because it's one of those eye things. Okay, but the music ranges from grand symphonic stuff, music to more simplistic, serene pieces. And, for Vangelis, this was the second most popular album he put out to sell in the U.S. It went to number 42. Chariots of Fire, I'm pretty sure, was number 1. But, which I bought Chariots of Fire. But, this was extremely important. It's just filled with this kind of classical, basically it's very much a classical type feel to it, was with the melodies. And John Anderson even plays on one of these songs. John Anderson, I believe from Yes, plays harp on a song. Well, who just doesn't want to do that? I didn't know he played that. So, he gave me this, and it's very beautiful music. It's chill out music. You're just going to sit back, going to relax. It's not about, okay, necessarily I might not be paying total attention to it. It's playing in the background. Just, yeah, very relaxing. Also gave me this, and this is an album from Greenpeace, Rainbow Warriors, and it's a 2-album set, and it was obviously to raise money for Greenpeace, and there is just a ton of groups that participated on this. Nothing special on Inner Sleeves from Geffen. You have U2, Belinda Carlisle, Sting, Terence Trent D'Arby, World Party, Brian Ferry, Lou Reed, Eurythmics, Pretenders, Grateful Dead, NXS, Thompson Twins, Huey Lewis and News, Talking Heads, Simple Minds, Waterboys, REM, Peter Gabriel, Aswad, Brian Adams, Basia, John Farnham, Bruce Hornsby, Martin Stephenson, Sade, John Cougar Mellencamp, Dire Straits. Some play some of their hits. Some play songs you might not have heard that eventually go on to compilations. You know, they say, oh, we put this out on this. Some of the albums, some of the songs are live. So it's a variety of a mix of, you may not know them, you may know them, but it's just like in the 80s, you know, power groups here are on this, supporting Greenpeace. So again, 2 album set, very cool, very nice to have. I used to have this on CD, so it is nice to have that back in the collection. So Michael, as always, thank you, and I look forward to our next meetup when we get together. Finally, here we have this song. This is from Q-Tip, from Vinyl Me Please. This came out, and Kamal, J.O., John Farad. Look at that. Look at that vinyl. Isn't that something? He's this, you know, he was, Q-Tip was from Tribe Called Quest, and Kamal the Abstract. Well, Kamal is a name he took, as his Islamic name, and the Abstract is what he was called as a DJ. And this was done in 2002, but it wasn't put out until actually 2009, because the record company just didn't think it was going to sell. It's very jazzy. Q-Tip, which is real name, well, his name he changed himself to Komel John Farad. He was really into jazz, and so he put a lot of jazz beats and jazz feels put into this. So that's what you get, and it does sound really, really neat. Very, very nice. It's just a great fusion of jazz and hip hop, and very psyche type looking cover. So Vinyl Me Please came in, and of course you get the OB strip. So. That's what we got this week. Appreciate you hanging out like you always do and doing this with me. So hope you enjoyed. Go Big Red. We'll see what happens with that. So look forward to see you next week on a midweek. Bye.